All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another live. That camera feels really far away.
Yeah, it does.
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Welcome to another live session here at the TLMI annual meeting 2022 in lovely Phoenix, Arizona. I am joined so our last live session with Michael from Iconics, Amber from Syngent reached out in the comments and said, "Hey, we're here.
Right.
I think Andrew should jump on." I was like, "Well, I'm here too." So,
And I'm here.
This was a very organic, kind of pulled together time. So I'm joined here by Andrew Wasserman. He is the co-founder and managing partner at Syngent, and we are here live. This is your first live interview. You were saying, at least.
Yeah, this is my first live interview. Most of my interviews have been written or basically in publications, but this is my first experience doing a live interview.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, we're here and we're going to talk about inks, coatings, and adhesives. But first of all, why don't you do an introduction and kind of introduce yourself to some of the folks who may be watching either live. And by the way, if you're watching live, then please feel free to comment and share or ask a question. I'll try to pull it up here on my phone and see if I can't grab some of these questions. But yeah, why don't you do a quick introduction?
So a little bit about my background. I've spent, I guess, a good part of 35 years and held various positions in corporate America with inks, coatings, and adhesives, going from big corporate, Fortune 100 companies to very small independent companies. And I've always had this vision and dream of being, a little bit that I'm a visionary, always looking at creating products and really pushing the boundaries of this industry, which is a fantastic industry. I mean, I'm very pleased to have joined TLMI, this incredible organization, and it's just a wealth of networking and just meeting new people, and it's incredible. And like I said, we're an incredible industry. It's a growing industry, and it's also a challenging industry. Yep. So I've been very fortunate to ask to do this interview today, and off the cuff, not really prepared.
Hey, you know what? The thing about the podcast is really this. I've done over 160 interviews, and we get to talk about you, which who knows more about you than you, and we get to talk about what you're passionate about, which is Syngent and what it is you're doing. So, don't. We're just having a conversation.
Right.
The camera's on, but whatever.
Yeah.
Forget.
So no. Like I said, I appreciate. So just a little bit. So basically, I'm extremely passionate about the industry, and I always. Anybody I've ever met in this industry or people that want to get into the industry, there's not a lot of advertising with the education system about the label industry.
Yes.
It's a kind of thing. If you have a father or a brother or a cousin in the industry, that's how you find out. It's more word of mouth. You have like, RIT, you have Clemson, that have incredible programs. But with that, I looked at this industry as something that I've enjoyed my entire life. It's been very good to me. I've been very fortunate with opportunities, had some amazing mentors through my years in the industry.
Yeah.
And having the opportunity to become an entrepreneur was very exciting to me. And now being able to create my own vision, what I believed would be the next steps in the label industry. So I feel I can really do a lot of contribution. And so we started out looking at each other when we opened this company, going through a lot of cash, and said, okay, where is my first account?
Yeah.
And today we have excess of 175 accounts. We're still, I always say, a startup, where we're going on 6 years in business and growing at a rapid rate of 50% year over year. But the main focus of our company is to really do R&D, elevate technology, do decoration, and really bring label to another level in the sense of product development, which I feel a key component to keep this industry moving forward.
Yeah.
Especially from a brand owner, a design standpoint. Brand owner is always looking to enhance their brand, enhance their labels, and decoration has been a really big part of what we do as an industry, as a company, and really focus on the industry as creating these products that really put the brand in the forefront of that valuable shelf space. We also took a look at the mid-sized label printers that don't have necessarily the R&D budgets to have a full R&D lab. It's very expensive. So we took an approach that we're not just a vanilla and chocolate company of the label industry. as a manufacturer, creating these specialty inks and adhesives, but really looking at how we can help the independents really compete in the marketplace, which is really important for them. And how do we do it economically?
Right.
While maintaining quality, which is always a challenge. So we've made an extensive investment. We have a full R&D lab, product development, full PhD polymer chemist, and 2 application labs and full manufacturing, to the point that we can scale fairly quickly. One of the things that we're known for is being able to really turn projects. So, we'll get a project in, it might be 1 gallon, it might be 8 pounds. But it's exciting for us when we can take on new projects, new product development, and really see our brand and our product, enhance this label, and just basically, really take that label and give it a life.
Yeah.
As opposed to just printing a sticker. I mean, how nice is that? I walk into, whether it's Bath and Body Works or some of the other brands that I've seen, some Procter and Gamble, or I've worked on some products for Colgate, and it's just a really good feeling when you can help a customer, a client, a brand owner out, and really help them live their dream as far as creating products. So that's a little bit about who we are as a company.
That's great.
We formulate adhesives, coatings, inks. We always consider the environment. We also look at costs. We'll walk into, not only from a product standpoint, but we always look at efficiency is very important, especially today's times. So we walk into operations. We really look into to be a total package, helping them really evaluate their business, not only from a product standpoint, from a cost standpoint, and we do a lot of cost reduction. And when we went with our approach to the technology, what we offer in the industry.
That's cool. Hey, real quick, if you are able to watch this, please, and you got questions about inks, about specialty coatings, about specialty adhesives, and you're watching this live, please make sure to drop it into the comments. That would be great, and we'll try to answer your question live here with Andrew. So when we're talking about specialty inks, coatings, and adhesives for the label business, you mentioned that there's kind of this mid-market tier of, and it's mostly narrow web label printers, right?
That's correct.
That you're working with. So you've got this kind of mid-tier, which there's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of kind of mid-sized printers in the marketplace. What would you say is kind of your unique advantage in the market, that these companies, when they reach out to you, they're like, oh man, thank goodness we found you, Andrew, because we've really been struggling with X. What are those maybe problems that you help solve? You mentioned R&D, which is probably a big one.
Yeah. Well, what makes us unique from a product development standpoint, we don't have limitations, and I will say this, and I mean the big companies have to fill these big volumes, and their focus is probably a little bit different than us. The Fortune 100 companies that really focus on filling these large capacity facilities. We are more of a boutique kind of custom kind of facility. So we don't have those limitations saying, oh, I got to make 4,000 pounds to take on your project. So that's what. Secondly, we really work with multiple vendors when it comes to raw materials. We have a vast selection. And again, we don't really focus so much on how much we're spending as far as the cost of the raw material, but we also take into consideration, but it gives us a different perspective on really focusing on putting out a premium product. If we're just going to be a vanilla and chocolate company, I would probably go into the hot dog business. I would just do something completely different.
Or the ice cream business.
Business.
If we're talking vanilla and
chocolate. Scoop of chocolate. But it's exciting when we can help somebody out and bring something new and innovative. We work anywhere from release coatings, peel and reseal. There's just been a lot of challenges with COVID, with supply chain. We've been very fortunate. We've had incredible suppliers. We don't single source anything. So we have multiple tiers of raw material supplies, which has enabled us to get through COVID very successfully. We kept everybody running. As a matter of fact, some of the Fortune 100 converters, some of the largest in the world, approached us, and we actually were able to help some of those large converters that have multiple locations due to supply chain issues.
Yeah.
We also see a pattern now where a lot of the bigger companies were using single source. I think we're going to look at purchasing today very differently because of COVID.
Yep.
That you're going to have tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 suppliers. I think it's a necessity that if you are a big converter or a large converter with 10, 15, 20, 30 locations, you want a guy like me who's going to be there and in the pinch, and you need a dependable second and third supplier today in order to operate your operation, because if you don't have it, you're going to get caught.
Yeah.
And I've seen this happen time and time again during COVID. And like I said, I think it's opened up a lot more opportunity, unfortunately, what COVID has done to a lot of people. And but we appreciate the opportunity to work with you.
Yeah.
And really appreciate the industry as a whole.
Yeah, no doubt. It's such a great point. A couple things. Number one, how the supply chain has really shifted, where we had, at least on my end, working for Myers as a label printing company, as a converter, we saw a lot more people who were looking for secondary and tertiary suppliers. Whereas prior to COVID, there was a big movement towards vendor consolidation. Now it's like, okay, we got to be prepared for just all of the complexities that are facing our world today. I think it just caught a lot of people off guard. So, I mean, tremendous point. How long have you all been in business then?
So we're working on now, we're approaching 6 years in business.
Okay.
And like I said, we have an incredible growth rate because of what we do.
Yeah, you said 50% year over year?
Yeah, year over year.
That's crazy.
We've been incredible growth rate, so we were obviously going to manage our growth, and we kind of look at the market as a whole, and we really keen on the areas where we feel, me and my business partner, John Dreyer, who we started the company together, we really look at areas of improvement and disruption. So we look at products where we can disrupt the industry a little bit, maybe make something a little bit better.
Yeah.
We don't want to work on products that are me too, that are as good as or equal to. It's really about pushing the envelope in the industry and making the industry better as a whole, and just improving the whole process of product development. It's really a big component of why I started this company, to really take the next generation of product out there. We don't play with raw materials. We put out a good product. We want it to stay a good product. We rather make less margin to know that when you deal with Syngent, you're getting a high level not only of service, but you're dealing with high-end raw materials.
Yeah.
And consistency is a key component of what we produce in the marketplace.
I love it. Well, Andrew, we'll wrap it up here. How do people either get in touch with you or learn more about what you're doing at Syngent? I know that you've got y'all have been pretty active on LinkedIn and some social media. You had a great post the other day about the Delta, the note that was in the luggage.
Oh yes,
that was awesome. I love that.
I always like to recognize things that I think are special, and it really goes back to, again, passion.
Yeah.
Being on that one, and not to change the subject a little bit, but being on that Delta flight and sitting there on this Delta flight in first class, I got this upgrade, and I'm very pleased about the upgrade, obviously. But my tray table was slanted, so my meal kept sliding off.
Yeah.
So this flight attendant came over to me with a big smile. Are you okay? I dozed off. It was a long flight. I woke up with this incredible note. I feel I had to post it. So
yeah,
we like to recognize people. We look at our company. There's no tie. We don't walk around with titles in our company. We're one big family. We're everybody, whoever joins Syngent, they become part of the Syngent family. And that's how we operate our business.
Love it. And so just they would find you on, obviously find you on LinkedIn.
On LinkedIn, we have, if you want to send a note to me, it can be at info@syngent.com. And Syngent is spelled Cyngient and .com.
Yeah.
And my new dynamic, incredible director of business development, Amber Gitter, and that's amber.gitter, Gitter, @syngent.com. She's an incredible resource, incredible.
She's the one who connected us up. She's
the one. She
shout
is
out
responsible. Amber, say a quick hello, Amber.
Just come say hi.
This is my new superstar of Syngian and part of the Syngian family. Welcome, Amber.
Hi,
Yeah,
how are you?
good. So yeah, y'all can connect up with Amber. You can connect up with Andrew and Syngian. Just real quick, tell me about the name. Did you just?
So very interesting. Everybody looks for the ultimate.com. So
Yeah.
me and my business partner were having a cold beer, sitting at the bar, and Synergy, two best friends coming together with this vision of
Yeah.
this company. We said Synergy, and we obviously Synergy was taken.
Obviously, yeah.
So
If it wasn't, then that would have been a great
I think
find.
it was his Doers in Water. He loves Doers in Water, and he came back the next day after that Doers in Water, and he said Syngiant. Syngiant. What's Syngiant? And it was really a take on Synergy.
Okay,
I thought it was brilliant. So we did the search. GoDaddy, it was available. So
perfect.
here is Syngiant.
Perfect. And you get to have Syngian.com. Amber, thanks again so much for connecting us up, and it's been a great interview. Everyone, make sure that you connect up with Andrew, connect up with Amber if you already aren't on LinkedIn. We'll make sure to put your profile links and all that kind of stuff on there as well. So really appreciate it. Thank
I
you
love
both
your
so
show.
much.
Great
Oh,
show.
And
thanks.
thank you, Adam, for this off the cuff interview. My
Yeah.
first one in 35 years since I've been in this industry. And like I said, I appreciate having the opportunity to be part of TMLI. It's an incredible organization. And if you're not part of TMLI,
Yep.
sign up.
Yeah. Everyone go to the TLMI LinkedIn page, or you can find them. I think it's TLMI. I don't know what the website, TLMI.com or .org. I'm
Yes.
not sure. But anyway, we'll make sure that gets on there as well. Thank you so much for being on the show, and I really appreciate it. Thanks again for connecting us up.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.